The real reason Madelyn Cline stopped watching Netflix's Outer Banks. Hello, today's video will be an exposing discussion as we'll be addressing a news story circulating the internet. The story is about the main lead, Madelyn Cline, of the most popular web series on Netflix named Outer Banks. What happened to Madelyn Cline? Everyone's wondering why the famous Netflix actress unexpectedly quit watching her own show, Outer Banks. Was this only a PR stunt? Did she have a clash with any of the other castmates? Is there anything more sinister at work? Well, friends, we performed some research and were able to determine the underlying driving factor behind her decision. Join us as we solve the puzzle of why Madelyn Cline quit watching Outer Banks and discover the true reason for her unexpected decision. So, with no further ado, let's get started. Netflix's Outer Banks and Madelyn Cline. Before we get to the actual reason, let's talk about the Outer Banks and Madelyn's character. The show follows a group of youngsters from North Carolina's Outer Banks. Madelyn Cline's character in Netflix's Outer Banks is loaded with mystery and suspense. As the group's leader, she's desperate to solve the puzzle of her father's absence and the wealth he left behind. She is a bold and resolute young woman who's prepared to put herself at risk to solve the riddle. She's shown utilizing her cleverness and charm to pull her friends out of sticky situations and keep them out of danger as the show develops. However, Madelyn's character in the show is open to solving riddles. She's also characterized as John B's romantic interest, and her connection with him is a main storyline point in the show. They are always at risk, yet they are also attracted to one another, creating intense, captivating scenarios. Let's now discuss the reason Madelyn quit watching the show. It turns out that the issue had nothing to do with the show's excellence or her acting in it. In fact, Madelyn has discussed how much she loved working on the show and how satisfied she was with the outcome. Then, what was the actual cause? Let's now explore the actual reason. Reason why Madelyn Cline stopped watching Netflix's Outer Banks. According to Madelyn Cline, there were difficulties in playing a character who was younger than herself. Cline said, "There are moments from my upbringing that I can recall and make straight in my thoughts. I've talked to our producers and writers a lot about how to make it seem deeply genuine and true to a young woman's appearance transitioning into adulthood. I'm characterizing a 16 or 17-year-old, but I'm now 24 or 25. There will be some reasoning there that I can't entirely agree with. It's possible to have some confusion."
Yes, thank you, gorgeous.
If you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet to show your support. Now let's continue.
Cheering for you guys.
Thank you. A lot of fans.
During an interview with Kathryn Hahn, her Glass Onion co-star, the actress said something similar. When Hahn admitted she hadn't watched the show, Cline said, "It's all right. I sometimes choose not to watch it." Then Hahn commented in response, "Some people don't enjoy watching their own work."
Security. Madelyn, one more look. Big smile, big smile.
Cline then shared the actual reason why she didn't watch her own show. Cline admitted that she had a tendency to be overly harsh on herself. "My own perception of myself is truly confusing. It's like having a really mean baby in my mind." When the first episode of Outer Banks premiered, a substantial portion of the world was under lockdown. It was also interesting for Cline to suddenly become popular at that time. Madelyn said, "It's a fascinating contradiction. I consider myself a pretty private person. The lack of secrecy irritates me at times. People believe they understand you because they recognize your character, but they are two distinct personalities." Furthermore, Cline has worked on Outer Banks for 3 seasons since her big moment on the show.
Right here, please, Madelyn. Big smile, Madelyn.
While the actress is committed to the show, she's admitted that she can't stand watching it. "I can't watch myself anymore," Cline said in a recent interview. It all boils down to one incident in the show's 2nd season. Cline is tied up and kidnapped by one of the show's villains in this scene.
Doing good. How about yourself? Pretty good. Any spoilers for the next season?
Cline's harassed and physically abused in the scene, which is dramatic and explicit. The scene was too much for Madelyn to bear when watching the show with her family. She didn't want to watch the rest of the show since she thought it was too realistic and scary. When it came to her choice to quit watching the show, Madelyn seemed completely upfront. She stated in interviews how challenging it was for her to record the scene, mentioning that she needed to take breaks to relax between shots.
Look great tonight.
Amazing. Who are you wearing tonight?
She's also emphasized the significance of performers caring for their mental health and well-being, particularly while performing dramatic or emotionally charged situations. Although it's disappointing that she won't be able to watch the show with all of us, it's critical to understand that everyone has their own constraints. Well, that's all for today's video. Tell us in the comment section how this one was. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing for more. And don't forget to provide us with your valuable feedback. We'll see you in the next video with some more interesting facts and stories. And until then, stay tuned.